Hi there, my name's Beth, and today I want to do a little bit of a life update, but this also might just turn into like a sad video, um, because I want to kind of document this moment and like, even if the only purpose of this video is for me to be able to look back on in like 5 years, see where I was and see where I'm at, or whatever. So, life update. I have not made a video in a long time, and I don't know, it's not because I don't want to. I like making videos and I like just sitting here in this background because this is always the background. Kind of a mess, but like, um, sitting here and just chatting, and even if it only reaches one person, hi, hello, how are you? Um, and even if that one person is just myself in another time, I'm okay with that. So, um, I'm gonna have a few videos coming out, and I still want to attempt NaNoWriMo, the writing a novel in a month. I just don't know. But it's like the beginning of October, so I have a month to plan. I have a basis that I've been kind of working on for like a couple of years and then just never gotten to. So I think to actually do it, I can do that. That might just be like one video at the start of the month and one at the end of the month, but we'll see. I'm not making any promises currently. Yeah, so I want to give you guys a life update and talk about kind of why I haven't made any videos, but also kind of where I'm at right now. So I made a video at the end of 2020 that was like end of year wrap up, and I said there was something going on, like within the family, and it was a big deal. So um, there was a lot happening, of course, as I said, but I was very non-informational about that because at that moment it was very personal. It still is very personal, but I feel like this is something I want to talk about because it is a thing people do go through. Um, and if this reaches like one other person who wants to talk and is in a similar situation, I would love to this video be the reason that I connect with somebody else in this situation. So, about a year ago, almost exactly a year in September, my dad started showing signs of what we believed was dementia. And it happened very rapidly, and it happened very quickly, and through the wondrous doctors. Here, I'm in Ontario, so the like best hospital for things dealing with the neurological is Sunnybrook in Toronto. So the fabulous doctors at Sunnybrook were able to do more. And last September of 2020, my father was diagnosed with, I'm not going to give specifics, but was diagnosed with a form of brain cancer. So it was a lot. It was really hard to like deal with that, and it still is. But um, so yeah, he was in hospital for like 4 months, and then around December things started looking better, and he went to a like rehabilitation center because he had just kind of been laying in bed for 4 months. So regaining use of his limbs and all that. So that was like right around Christmas time because I remember calling him at the center and it sounded exactly like my dad again. So I was so excited and like just having this person back in our lives, back to where they were before this 4 months chunk of time happened. And so like from mid-January, he came back home to where my mom lives, and he was doing well, and then like it started to just take a turn again in May, June time. Um, Again, I don't want to give too many details, but I also can mark like every single thing with a family birthday event or holiday, and time wise, like I can plot this, but at the same time, it's not so like fresh in my brain stuff. Yeah, so June-ish was when things started to take a turn, and he was back in the care of the hospital again. I want to say July was when he went back, and in the first 4 month period, we had done chemo and we had done all these things to try to mitigate the tumors. We were kind of told, like, from the start that there wasn't a chance, really, that they would, like, go away completely, but we could kind of assist with shrinking them and see where we could go from there. So, a lot of this past year was just phone calls with my mom, and I have two other siblings as well. So it was just a lot of the four of us talking about stuff and dealing with stuff and all of that. And having him back home for that time was great. It was very nice to see him again. Um, and so, like, July was when they offered radiation. Um, and they had said radiation was like a last resort. So we kind of all knew it wasn't going super great. Um, so the okay, so we did the 2 weeks of radiation, and they said that like after those 2 weeks, about 2 weeks later is when we would see results. And so August was that time, and he was transferred to the hospital post radiation, to the hospital in the same town as where myself and my mom live. And so it was nice to like be able to have him close. And so in that time, the 4 month chunk of time, I didn't see him because with um, the virus going around, there's regulations and everything. And it was only one visitor, and that one visitor was my mom because she was his like primary caregiver outside of the hospital. And then when he was moved home to my mom's, we were able to go visit him with the COVID protocol in place, and safety was our biggest priority, of course. So it was nice to see him there, but like, of course, he's semi back to who he was, so nothing felt super different. And then when things started to go back downhill, it was more just he was sleeping a lot, and so I didn't know if when he was in the hospital, I actually wanted to go and see him because I would rather have the last memory, if that was where this was heading, of my dad to be at home and more like himself. So, um, the last time I saw him at home was Father's Day, and then he was in the hospital, and mid-August was when I felt it in my heart that I needed to go to the hospital and see him, and he was asleep the whole time, and um, I don't know if he fully knew who it was when I went, and that was my biggest fear right from the start, that he wouldn't know who I was. when I saw him on Father's Day, he was alert and he was bright and he knew that it was me, and I got him Swiss chalet for dinner, and like we just had a nice day as a family. And then going into the hospital, um, carefully of course, and by myself, because at that point it was we were allowed one visitor every day. You just had to like sign in and do all the virus protocol. Um, oh, okay. So he was mostly asleep, and I saw him, but my mom's advice was like, just talk and he'll know you're there. But he opened his eyes at one point, and I said, it's me. And he was like, I know, but his look was very confused. And it was, I don't know. So, about a week and a half later, almost exactly a week and a half later, my mom texted me on a Friday morning while I was at work and said that the doctors had said that he could go within the next few hours. It's really hard to cut vegetables when you're concerned about your dad dying. So I left work, of course, but I couldn't bring myself to go sit in the hospital and watch this man who was like the best dad die. I don't regret it though. I don't for 1 minute regret not going. My sister went with my mom. So in his so that Friday the doctor said that he would probably pass within the next few hours. So I came home and I laid in this bed, and my lovely boyfriend came over and just kind of hung out. We waited for any updates. So I was just waiting. And that was probably the worst part, is just waiting. Just waiting to hear that somebody has died. So he didn't pass that day. That was August 27th. 2 days before that was my parents' anniversary, and he was bright that day, which was wonderful. In the grand scheme of things, no, but for that being my parents' final anniversary, that was good, in my opinion, that he was bright and alert that day. And then the next day, he just kind of went downhill, and then the Friday was the 27th of August, and we were told he had hours left, basically. And so at like 7 p.m., my sister called and said he was still hanging on and that they were going to go home because who knows, like anything could happen. And basically the hospital would call my mom if something happened to him in the night. So Saturday, August 28th, I got up at like 7 a.m. because I couldn't sleep, and there was no update, and I called my sister, and she wasn't sure what she was gonna do, whether she was gonna go back to the hospital. And so at that point, my mom was there because he had declined even more. So I said, I'll watch your daughter to my sister if she wanted to go. So my sister, my mother, and my aunt were the three people in the room with him. And I was with my niece, who is 2.5, and such a lovely little lady. But at almost 11 a.m. on August 28th, my dad passed away. And it's not a real feeling. It's not real. It's not a feeling of. And I knew it was gonna hurt, and it did, and it still does, of course. It's been almost 6 weeks. No, 5 weeks? Like, just over a month. It still hurts a lot, but it hurts more now. So, probably the first 3 days, it didn't feel real at all. Like, in my head, he was still in that hospital, and I could go see him anytime I wanted. And now it's very real. So we did his funeral about 2 weeks after he actually passed, and it was very small. We did just like family, and that's it. Because again, virus protocol dictates only certain amounts of things. We were still able to honor and celebrate his life, but now it's been over a month. And now is when it actually feels real and when it hurts more than before. So, I will probably make a part 2 to this video just because this, I feel like, is the initial story part. And I want to do a video that's like where I'm at now mentally, but that one's going to be more crying probably. So part 2 will cover like why it hurts more now and kind of how I'm processing. So if you want to see that, let me know down below. And if you are going through something similar, and you want to just talk, comment down below and we'll talk about it, because I don't know, and I feel like everyone processes this differently. So I'd love to hear, if you're comfortable, how you're also handling these situations. So anyways, I'm gonna go because this video is way too long. But thank you for listening, and I will see you really soon with a part 2 that I'm probably gonna film like right now while I'm in the thought, and then I'll post it in a few days. So yes, I feel like this one deserves an I love you, so I love you, and until next time, have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and